Alright, what's going on, guys? It's your boy TG. Welcome back to another video. So in this video, we're going to see who will win the Stanley Cup between the 16 teams who missed out on the playoffs. Now, I know you may think that this is a weird, odd video, and you are certainly right. I just came up with this idea, guys. I want to see who will win Stanley Cup between teams that missed out on the playoffs. But I will do a video on my predictions on the teams that are in the playoffs to see who will win the Stanley Cup and all that other stuff. But we're going to hop into NHL 23. We're going to put all 16 teams that missed out on the postseason in the playoffs to see who will win the Stanley Cup between those teams. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright guys, so as you see here, these are the 16 teams that are not in the playoffs. And I did just put me together a little playoff bracket. Since these 16 teams are in the playoffs, just put whatever. So we're going to click here. We're going to stem first round all the way to Stanley Cup Final. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright guys, so the first round is stemmed. Now we're going to sim all the way to the second round. Alright guys, so now we sim the second round. We're into the conference finals. It's Blackhawks versus Canucks and Penguins versus Canadiens. I'm going to sim the conference finals to see which of these two teams end up in the Stanley Cup Final. Will be Blackhawks Penguins, Canucks Penguins, Blackhawks Canadiens, or Canucks Canadiens. We'll just have to find out. Let's go. Alright guys, now we got the Penguins and Canucks in the Stanley Cup Final. It would be nice to see these two teams go at it in the Stanley Cup Final. So we're going to sim period by period. Alright, first period. 1-1, each team with a goal right there. All right, second period, 2-1 Penguins. Third period, let's see what happens. And the Canucks with 3 unanswered goals in the third take game 1. Game 2 now, still in Pittsburgh. Gonna send period by period again. First period, 3-2, so the Penguins leading 3-2. Second period, 5-3, okay. Third period, 6-4. So the Penguins coming back from a Game 1 loss, even up the series at 1. Game 3 is in Vancouver now. First period, 1-0 Canucks. All right. Second period, 2-0. Elias Pettersson with a goal right there. Third period, 3-1. So the Canucks hang on for the 3-1 win, and they take a 2-1 lead in the series. Game 4, still in Vancouver now. First period, 1-1. So each team with a goal right there. Second period, 2-2. Okay. Third period, 3-3. So it's going to OT. And Tyler Myers scores the overtime game-winning goal. And the Canucks take a 3-1 series lead, heading into Game 5 in Pittsburgh with a chance to win the Stanley Cup. First period, 1-1, each team with a goal. Second period, 4-1. So the Canucks with 3 goals in the second period take a 4-1 lead because they had a goal in the first. 4-1 lead. Canucks with a chance to close out the series and to win the Stanley Cup. And Chris Letang just scored the goal right there for the Penguins. Canucks had to try and hold on to this lead. And they add another one with 46 seconds left to go. So we're going to hop in. We're going to beat the Vancouver Canucks. We're going to watch them win the Stanley Cup in this odd playoff format against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Without further ado, let's hop to it. All right, guys. 2-1. A big hit at the end, and that is it. The Vancouver Canucks are your Stanley Cup champions. Let's go. So we did the non-playoff 16 teams, and the Vancouver Canucks are your Stanley Cup champions. Let's go. What a run from the Vancouver Canucks. Awesome series in general. Winning the series in 5, getting it done on the road in Pittsburgh. Who would have thought that the Vancouver Canucks and the Pittsburgh Penguins will match up in the Stanley Cup Final? Now, the Canucks went to the Stanley Cup Finals in real life, and you guys know this one all too well if you're a Boston Bruins fan or if you're a Vancouver Canucks fan. They went to the Stanley Cup Final, and unfortunately, they lost to Boston in 7 games. That's the bad part if you're a Canucks fan, but if you're a Bruins fan, you're really happy about that because at least Zdeno Chara got to hoist the Stanley Cup before he retired from the NHL. So, I mean, yeah. But you see the Canucks hoisting the Stanley Cup on NHL 23 as Elias Pettersson raises the Stanley Cup high in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. Let's go. Just hoisting that high in the sky. We're going to hand this off to Quinn Hughes right there. Our Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Quinn Hughes, gets the Stanley Cup above his head, and he goes for a little skate around it. You love to see it. Let's go. Quinn Hughes with the Stanley Cup above his head. We're going to get this off to... let's see, our goalie, Thatcher Demko. Played a great series, played great playoffs, and he gets to hoist the Stanley Cup above his head. You always got to give it to your attendee. I mean, your attendee does well for you, made some good saves and stuff, so he gets to hoist the Stanley Cup. And we're going to hand this off to, let's see... Gonna hand this off to the big guy, Tyler Myers. So Tyler Myers gets to hoist the Stanley Cup. Let's go. Tyler Myers hoisting the Stanley Cup. The big defenseman for the Vancouver Canucks. And now it's time for the team selfie picture. Let's go. Team selfie picture right here. You'll love to see it. And here's the classic Stanley Cup animation right here. I'm not going to lie, guys. I actually thought that you'll see this. When I first got NHL 23, I actually thought that you'll see this in franchise mode only. But, of course, it applies to playoff mode. It applies to season mode, too. Because I think when I done season mode one time for one of my videos and when I was just doing this in general, this same animation right here has showed. But yeah, it's a cool animation. I wish they added it in the previous NHL games that they made and let you choose who gets to hoist the Stanley Cup next. As you guys already know by now, but if you don't, I'll tell you. NHL 18 was my first NHL game that I got. And then I just, went from there. So, of course, that was, part of my childhood a little bit right there. Anyway, Vancouver Canucks, your Stanley Cup champions. Go to the playoff. Oh, wait, wrong thing. Try and find the playoff tree, guys. Okay, here's it right here. So, looking at Vancouver's run, they beat the Flames in 7. They beat the Sharks in 6. Beat my Chicago Blackhawks in 7. And beat the Penguins in 5. Penguins, on the other hand, beat the Capitals in 5. Beat the Blue Jackets in 7. Beat the Canadiens in 5. And of course, lose to the Vancouver Canucks in 5. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, and kind of like an odd, crazy video, but I just wanted to think of an idea for this. But anyway, hit it with a like, hit it with a subscribe button. I will see you guys next time.